Toronto in the Internet Cafe. Hey, Nina.
Hey, Kelly, we are talking about cybersecurity today. There may be no country on the planet more vulnerable to a massive cyber attack than the U.S. We're dependent financially for transportation, even communications, even the military operations are all dependent on data networking. What's worse, U.S. security officials say that the country's cyber defenses are not even up to the challenge. But there is a new plan in the works that could take a bite out of cybercrime in the U.S. The White House just proposed a new virtual ID card to make it safer for us to bank, shop, and check health records all online.
Cyber terrorism is a real threat in this country. The solution? The creation of a federal ID ecosystem. Jay Bavizzi, president of the International Council of E-Commerce Consultants, has developed the next generation of cybersecurity.
Users will now no longer need to use a username and a password to authenticate themselves to gain access to a site.
The current system of usernames and passwords will be obsolete.
You will then be issued with a smart ID card.
Similar to a passport for your computer, the Smart ID lets you gain access to the internet with the security of a federal ID card. The new federal ID ecosystem solves the major problems that we have with cybersecurity and identity theft. If the White House approves this plan, it'll have a major impact on consumers and the e-commerce industry. In the meantime, Jay says there are a few ID management tools you can use to protect yourself.
Try to avoid using Wi-Fi networks if you can, especially when you're using a logging into an important site.
Even secure Wi-Fi connections can be easily hacked.
You need to look for websites when you're logging in. On the login page, it says HTTPS.
When logging into any site, make sure you look for the HTTPS. That means the page is encrypted, therefore more secure. And when it comes to current passwords, experts say the longer, the better.
You want to use passwords that are above 16 or 20 characters.
16 to 20 characters, that's a lot. Well, experts say to use upper and lower case passwords and numbers. A lot of that sounds impossible to memorize, but here's a good tip. Create sentences for your password. For example, my name is Nina, and I work at Channel 2. Using upper and lowercase letters and numbers in the mix makes it more complicated to crack, and that way it's easier to remember. And, of course, always change your passwords frequently. You can find all these tips on kwgn.com and more information about those smart IDs.
Yeah, no, it's a good idea. I'm just one of those people who I just never change my password, and I don't think that I'm alone. You know, it's like we're too busy with other stuff.
But that's the problem. I mean, there are so many passwords that are so easy to crack, you don't realize it. All someone has to do is sit down and think about you and the things that you do, where you work, you know, maybe know your boyfriend or husband's name, and that's it. They can get access to your bank account. So just think of sentences that when you see that page, it triggers that sentence for your passwords.
Good idea, because there's about 18 different things I have to log on to, so help me remember.
Use sentences, and you can change that same sentence up over and over again. So it's kind of like the same password used, but more characters, a little bit more complicated.
Perfect. Thanks, Nina.
Sure.
Appreciate it.